All right. And now that's a shipped order. Now that we have our bin pulled in here from the packing station, we have all of our garments sealed and labeled already. Now it's just time to ship them. Bring your shirt up to your barcode scanner, scans instantly. It's gonna pull up the shirt. Can you confirm if it's the same design? Yes, we can. So we're gonna go ahead and quality control pass it. And it's gonna tell us ship current plus bin 57. Item 3 out of 3, that means this order has 3 items and the rest of the items are sitting in bin 57. Where's bin 57? We're gonna look on our bin wall and we can find bin 57 right here. Now that we have our garments from bin 57, we're just gonna confirm, is it 3 items? And yes, as we can see here, it's 1, 2, 3 t-shirts. Now that we have all 3 items, we're gonna click ship now. And once we click ship now, it's gonna automatically spit out our shipping label for us and allow us to see what was in that order. So as you see here, the label spit out within a couple of seconds. There's no manual labor involved. It's simply scanning the barcode, clicking ship now, grabbing the extra items, and having this barcode spit out automatically for us. Now we're just gonna go through the order and just verify that everything is here. So we have one medium of this shirt as well, and then one medium of this shirt as well. Now we're gonna peel our barcodes off because again, we don't want the customer seeing the barcodes. Now that we have our entire order ready to go, we're gonna grab our gray bags. And as I mentioned in another section of this course, we actually color code our bags by size. Our smallest bags are black, our bigger bags are gray, and then we have our largest sizes bags here. They are still gray, however, they are in a different location, but they are the bigger sizes, so we don't mix them up, and it's easier to pick based on color instead of size. I'm gonna grab our order. Shipping label. Place it on the package. And now it's ready to ship. That about sums it up for our ship station setup. I hope I was able to help you understand how to make your shipping station a lot more effective and easy. If you're interested in using our system for your workflow and you still have questions, feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to help you out and get you set up. Today I'm just going to be talking about the ship station and the tools you need for your ship station. So the first thing is this barcode scanner. And the reason I recommend this one is because it's essentially hands-free and it has a wide surface area for scanning. So even if you're right here, the barcode will automatically be scanned and there's no hassle in trying to fit a handheld manual scanner to pick it up and try to scan the barcode, try to make it line up so it's scanned and stuff like that. There's none of that when it comes to this. Super simple. You swipe the barcode in front of it, it scans instantly. Next thing is your computer. Again, you want to have something that's touchscreen, but also something that you can type into the keyboard. For instance, if this customer had an incorrect address, you want to be able to edit their address without having to use the on-screen keyboard, because no one wants to type in an address by clicking a screen. You can easily use your keyboard and mouse and make quick changes and search Google for the correct address or any issues that come up with the ship station, even communicating with the rest of your team via your Slack channel or email or whatever communication service you're using for your shipping department. Feel free to go with something budget friendly because all it's doing is staying inside of a browser, scanning a barcode and printing a shipping label. So you don't need something super complex or something super expensive. It can really just be a dummy laptop, but if you have the budget for it and you feel like you need something super fast, go ahead and get it. But we recommend just getting something that has a keyboard, is touchscreen, and is fast enough to open a browser. The next item we have here is the Rollo label printer. I actually don't recommend Rollo because I feel like they're a little bit overpriced for what it does. There's plenty of cheaper ones you can get on Amazon that do the same thing, just as long as they're thermal transfer label printers, because all they do is they use heat to transfer to this heat sensitive paper, and that's what prints out the label. Just make sure you get something that works. If you want to get Rollo, that's great. They have great customer service. But if you're on a budget and you're just starting out, or you feel like you don't want to spend that much on a label printer, it's completely fine to just go with something that's a lot cheaper and gets the same job done. Last but not least is the thermal transfer paper. This is the Barcode thermal transfer paper. It's the most reliable company I've worked with when it comes to shipping labels. They've consistently delivered quality across hundreds of orders that we've placed with them. You can buy them in bulks of 10, 12, or 2. I highly recommend going with them. I don't see why you wouldn't. Going with one like Rollo or one that like Zebra that's designed for those specific printers are just gonna cost you a lot of money for no reason. They all do the same thing. They're all heat sensitive papers. So just go with the Barcode one. It's affordable, it's reliable, and it gets the job done. That's what I recommend for the thermal transfer papers. Hey, and welcome back to another tutorial video in this course. Today I'm just going to be talking about the ShipStation and all the required items and peripherals. This will just be 3 items: your main shipping computer, your label printer, and your labels. First off, your labels need to be 4 by 6 inches. These are standard shipping labels that are used across every platform, and they're super easy to print. You're not spending time printing with a traditional printer, trying to tape 8 by 11 inch letter papers to your boxes or to your packages. No, you're going to peel off the back paper and stick the label directly to all your packages, making the shipping process super simple. These label transfer papers are compatible with basically any printer that uses thermal transfer. So it's basically like heat transfer. It heats up the label and the heat creates the drawing. Wherever it's heated up, it will basically draw out the entire label, all the information on it that it needs, and everything is all scannable. So you're never using ink, you're always just using heat. The reason I recommend these labels is because of the count per label. So you're only paying 2 cents per label. The label comes with 10 rolls, and this is a total of 2,200 labels. So you won't be running out of labels anytime soon unless you're a shop that's doing a massive amount of numbers. Every shop will be different, but this will at least give you some time before having to buy and pay for shipping for more labels sooner than later. Buying in bulk is your best strategy for this. And their shipping is blazing fast. As you can see, we ordered 9 times after switching over to them. So it's just been a breeze, and I have nothing else but positive things to say about these labels. Next up is our thermal label printer. These will basically be printing out your thermal labels. So there's a lot of companies that try to argue and fight and say, oh yeah, we have the best label printer, use us, we make shipping a breeze. But honestly, they all do the same thing. There is really no difference, and I've used some of the best quote-unquote ones, and I've used some of these cheaper ones, and I really don't see a difference. Don't waste your money on getting something that's super overpriced, super expensive. Just get something to begin with that starts, that works. Obviously, if you want better customer support and stuff, you would go with the higher tier products. But if you're a DIY shop just looking to get started, don't worry about getting a name brand one that will cost you twice as much as this, because before this ever even messes up, you'll probably get a replacement from Amazon, and you will probably be able to afford 2 of these for the cost of one or two of the quote unquote high-end label printers. It's okay to get the cheapest one that you can find, just as long as it prints 4 by 6. Wireless is a plus. It doesn't have to be wireless. And just make sure it is a thermal shipping label printer. Otherwise, it won't work with the thermal sheets that I showed before this product. Last but not least, the laptop. This is just as important as everything else, as this is what you'll be using to ship all your items. You don't really need a high-end computer either. Again, this is a station where you're simply doing one task over and over and over again every day. You're not using this laptop for anything else. However, the only difference from this and the tough pads that I've recommended in a previous lesson in this course being the tough pads, you do need a keyboard for shipping. And the reason being is you want to make sure if something comes up with shipping addresses, or you need to communicate through Slack or anything else that you need to speak with your team about a specific order and anything that comes up with shipping, you want to make sure you have a keyboard and mouse so you can copy and paste update addresses and you're not fighting with the screen to try to type with an on-screen keyboard. It doesn't have to be the fastest laptop, doesn't have to be the most expensive. Just as long as you use it, it loads up the browser quick enough for you to use and print labels. Obviously nothing that lags in the browser because the browser is going to be your main tool to ship your orders. Just make sure that all works before settling on this computer. Things are slow for you, definitely send it back, get something else. But I don't recommend overspending on a super quick laptop just to print and scan labels. It doesn't make sense for a new shop. I don't think it makes sense for a well-established shop. However, if you have the money to do so, it's completely up to you. Another item you want to have in your ShipStation workflow is this barcode scanner in particular. You don't want to use any handheld barcode scanners or ones that you need to press the trigger or have a small scan area. You want to use something like this because it has a large scan area and you can easily pass the barcode directly in front of it and it will scan in seconds. It makes the process super automated and feel almost hands-free. Needing a barcode scanner is obvious, but picking the right one is crucial. This is the one I highly recommend here. We've been using them without issue, without fail, ever since we have our setup. If you find something else that's similar, that's okay. Just make sure it has a large scan area and make sure it's fully automated where you can pass multiple items and it will scan in seconds.